This is good mood food. To me, there is nothing better than a meal that has been passed down from my grandmother or my mom. So today I'm gonna show you how to make my mom's Puerto Rican chicken and rice. My mom is full Puerto Rican. My grandmother taught her how to make it and she taught me. And in turn, I am going to teach you guys. This is a bold, flavorful recipe with tons of spices. You are going to love it. It's a staple in my house and I know it's gonna be a staple in yours too. So let's get into it and make my mom's Puerto Rican chicken and rice. To start this recipe out, we are gonna marinate some chicken in a homemade adobo seasoning. My mom taught me how to make this recipe and her homemade adobo seasoning is so good. You might be familiar with this brand of adobo seasoning, but I like to make mine from scratch with a ton of different spices because it's just that much more flavorful. All right, so cumin. My cat Millie is at my feet right now, meowing. What? Yes, I know. Paprika, onion powder, a little cayenne pepper, chili powder, oregano. Obviously, I'm not brand loyal to my spices. Garlic powder and salt. You're just gonna toss this with all of the spices until it's well combined and the chicken is coated. Then you're just gonna cover this and stick this in your fridge while you prep the rest of your ingredients. Next up, we are making our sofrito base, which is just a blend of onions and peppers. And my mom taught me how to make this and it makes the most delicious base to literally like all of my soups, whenever I'm cooking rice. It's amazing. So you wanna finely dice your onion and you only need about 1/4 of an onion for this. So I'm just gonna toss this onion in a bowl. Green bell pepper. Just make sure that you're very finely chopping your peppers as well. I like just to run my knife back over them a few times. Now, if you wanted to take the easy way, you could put all of this into a food processor and just process it until everything was well combined and very finely chopped. But apparently I like doing things the hard way. Throw that in with your onion. And we've got some garlic. So add all of your garlic to the bowl. I will say what I've been doing more recently is grating my garlic just for a little punch. Love to do that. Okay, cilantro is my life. If you know Ambitious Kitchen recipes, you know that a lot of them contain cilantro. So all of you cilantro haters, sorry, I probably lost half of my audience. But I just love cilantro and jalapeno. It makes me so happy. It's so fresh and vibrant. This is parsley. This is not cilantro. Neighbor's coming in, neighbor's coming in. It smells good.
It smells great.
It smells good, but I'm like, no, that's not my favorite thing.
No.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, this isn't, really?
Is this?
Got parsley.
Okay.
Okay, we've got our cilantro. There we go. It smells like cilantro now. Cilantro is life. So what's really interesting about this sofrito base is that we're using the herbs in the sauce. Typically you'd add cilantro at the end for like a punch of flavor, but it really does contribute to the flavor of the sauce and helps it just break down and cook really nicely. But the trick is chopping it like a psycho. So you have to get it very finely diced again. And last but certainly not least, jalapeno. These guys who are shooting would always make fun of me because every time we shot together, I would make everything with jalapenos. I could eat them. I could just eat it like this. I love them so much. I'm a jalapeno girly. Now, if you are sensitive to heat, you could absolutely leave these out. I love a hint of spice. And honestly, once they cook down, it's not really that spicy at all. So I say keep them in, use them, spice up your life. Because I'm making this for my kids, so I'm just gonna use half, just in case. Really want them to eat this tonight for dinner. It's very therapeutic, chopping things, doing things with your hands in general. I feel like it's therapy. That maybe came off wrong. Like, I don't. You're gonna place your pan over a medium-high heat and add in some olive oil. Wait until your pan gets nice and hot and that olive oil is shimmering and easily moves around the pan. We're gonna add that chicken in that has been marinating, add it right to the pan. I like to use chicken thighs in this recipe because they have a little bit more fat, and fat equals flavor. So boneless, skinless chicken thighs, although you could absolutely use a bone-in chicken thigh for even more flavor. It already smells fantastic. So we're just gonna brown these on both sides. This is gonna take about 4 minutes per side, and you want the fat to really render and release the chicken before you flip it. So it should be nice and golden brown. So do not even attempt to flip these before 4 minutes. All right, let's take a quick peek under. It's been about 4 minutes, and these look so good. So we're just gonna give them a flip. Honestly, you could make this recipe with just the chicken and serve this like in the summer. You can even use the adobo seasoning and then just grill the chicken, use it on different types of meat. It is so, so good. So if you haven't used it yet, definitely recommend trying it out. You're gonna transfer your chicken to a plate, and this will finish cooking in the rice, and we'll cover it later. So don't worry about cooking it all the way through. You're gonna turn your heat down to medium and then add in all of those peppers and onions that you chopped earlier. And then use a wooden spoon to just really scrape up all those brown bits from the chicken and get those into the peppers and onions, and allow this to cook in that little bit of chicken fat for about 3 to 5 minutes until the onions are nice and tender. This looks pretty good. The onions have softened and are nice and juicy. So now you're gonna stir in some tomato sauce and get all of those peppers nicely mixed into the sauce, and you're just gonna bring it to like a slight simmer for literally only like 30 seconds. You're gonna add in a homemade Sazón seasoning blend. Now Goya makes this, but my mom taught me how to make my own at home, and it is 10 times more delicious and flavorful. So that goes right into the sauce too. Stir that in, let it simmer for another minute until the flavors really start to combine. This is like in my top 5 favorite meals of all time, I would say. And that's really saying something because I think I have over 2,000 recipes on my site. All right, next up, we've got some rice that I've already pre-rinsed. So you're gonna add that into the sauce mixture and then a little bit of water or chicken broth. And this rice is going to be the most flavorful rice you will ever have. You can absolutely make this rice on its own if you are ever just looking for a delicious side dish. Just follow the directions for the rice and cook. But I obviously love it with chicken. We're gonna bring up the heat a little bit and bring this to a simmer. And I'm also gonna stir in pigeon peas. And if you can't find pigeon peas, which are a more traditional Puerto Rican type of food, you could absolutely use frozen peas. That's totally fine. And then I'm using some Spanish green olives. That adds a ton of flavor. Sometimes I also like to add a tablespoon or 2 of the olive brine juice to it for that just nice salty richness. Just stir those in and see it starting to come to a simmer. And then all you have to do is grab your chicken, and then you're just gonna place the chicken on top. Just nestle it in there. Do not forget to add all of this extra delicious chicken juice, because that's where all the flavor and spices are. Everything that's gonna come off the chicken, just put it over the top. And then all you have to do is cover this, bring the heat to low, and cook it like you would cook rice. So you're gonna let this cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. Then we'll remove it, we'll check it out, make sure it's all done. The liquid is gonna get absorbed into the rice, and it is going to be absolutely delicious. It's done. Okay, this rice is not done. All right, it's done cooking, so let's have a look. Oh my goodness. That looks absolutely incredible, and I love how the rice just absorbs all of that tomato, sazón, sofrito sauce. The olives give it nice flavor. That rice is nice and fluffy and perfectly cooked, and the chicken is absolutely falling apart, you guys. Let's plate it up. I'm hungry. mommy's hungry. And then I love to garnish this off with some cilantro and sliced or diced onions just for a little punch, avocado for a little healthy fat and freshness. This smells like home. I feel like I'm with my mom making it with her. So if you guys are a fan of Puerto Rican dishes, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel because next series we may just make some more Puerto Rican inspired meals. All right, let's give this a try. An absolute flavor bomb, so much fun. And if you haven't tried Puerto Rican recipes before, then I guarantee that you are going to love this one. I know my mom would love to hear if you make it or not, so be sure to comment below if you do. And I know that it will put you in a good mood.